For those of you listening on the pod.
Welcome in hour two. All right, was anything else y'all want to hit before we jump into a mock draft? Anything at all? Anything on the forefront of your mind? Maybe something you thought of while we were having those conversations before we get deep into this mock here.
Yeah, who's going to show me how to run the 40 at the draft in a couple of weeks? You going to give me some guidance, Clayton?
I'm gonna pay some random schmuck to come over there and just start instructing you without you knowing that I paid him to do it. Anything?
What he's going to say is first you got to put the beer down, you got to stretch a little bit, and pretend like you're not in your 40s.
What are your thoughts? I've seen random comments here or there, not just today, but talking about how the Packers may be secretly in the running to get a running back at some point. Jay Beesky 12 says, guys, I got to run. Great stuff. My hot take, Green Bay takes a running back earlier than we think makes sense, which would be at all for most people's, radar, myself included. But what if Marshawn Lloyd still has some hiccups on the recovery? What if, God forbid, something happens in our running back room? But, I mean, we still got Jacobs. We got Brooks. We got
Manuel Wilson.
Yep. I don't see a situation where we would want to stir up that, but is there any chance that you guys see that there is a back anywhere before the fourth round that you think that Goody you can't pass it up? You just can't.
If you need four running backs, right? Now, if you draft one before the fourth round, they've got to make the roster, period, case closed. You're not sneaking them onto a practice squad, right? So
there's only like 3 or 4 of those guys in this draft.
Yeah, if you've got someone like let me pop it back up here. Matter of fact, we were going to get right into the mock draft, but let's just hit this real quick if I can. Let me get that line back up.
Jacobs' buddy, Cam, Arizona State.
Oh, I love it. Scatterboo.
So if we were to look at halfbacks here, let's drop it down. Let's just go with the normal board. Obviously, at the top of the list is Ashton Gianti. If you can get Ashton Gianti outside of the first round, yeah, I would take him. Ain't no way he's going to be
There's no way he'll be there, right?
No way. So next, you've got Omarion Hampton. Do I think he'll be there when the Packers pick in the second round? No, I don't. He's too good. He's 30 on our board. I think he'll be long gone. Next, you got Quinshon Judkins. Now you're getting in that range where I'm like, would you really take him and say, okay, we're going to replace Emmanuel Wilson with him or Chris Brooks with him? If you replace Chris Brooks with someone with a third or a fourth round pick, they've got to make the roster. Now you're definitely carrying 4 as opposed to 3 and stashing one on the practice squad. So that's where it gets a little bit shaky for me. So I don't see it happening, Jacob. I just don't. Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. I personally don't see it. Now, I'll tell you a player that I really like that's lower on our board if I can find him. Where are you at, sir? Where are you at? Damian Martinez.
Yeah. Cosella was high on him too. Did you hear that?
Loved him, dude.
He said that he may be one of the most underrated running backs in a long time that nobody's talking about that could just jump on the scene and be very productive.
We got him in the 119 spot on our board. He meets the athletic threshold. His PFF grades ranked at his position 44th, 72nd, and 8th. All right. Greg Cosell absolutely raved about him, and his RAS was a 9+ as well. They have him, the 33rd team had him in the 104 spot at the time that we took this information down on Kyle Kraft's list. So that's one that 4th or 5th round, if he somehow makes it there, whoo-wee.
What do you guys think about the kid from Ohio State?
Quinshon Judkins or Travion Henderson?
Travion Henderson, yeah.
Let's see here. Let's see which one we've got higher. I think we got Quinshon Judkins higher, but I could be wrong, Tim. So if we just sort.
That's why I'm thinking Henderson. Maybe Henderson falls, and that would be a guy we grab.
Yeah.
If they're that serious.
So in the order we got is Ashton Gianti, Omarion Hampton, Quinshon Judkins, Caleb Johnson, Travion Henderson. All right, so we got Quinshon Judkins significantly higher than Travion Henderson, about 2 full tiers. So there you go.
Someone told me that Cam Scatterboo sounds like an Adam Sandler movie, and now I can never unhear it. Cam Scatterboo.
Scatterboo.
Scatterboo. Scatterboo.
I like it. All right, there you go. There's a little bonus running back talk that we didn't have on the docket. So let's move it along to the mock draft here. We're going to use PFF, guys. We haven't used PFF in a long time.
Oh,
so
boy.
We're going to jump back into that simulator and see what we got going on here. Okay, so I don't think we should do trades. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I'm trying to.
Unless we're trading back in the first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Let's start this thing. So with the 23rd pick, the best available are Malachi Starks, Luther Burden. I've gotten used to the other one now. All right, Malachi Starks, Luther Burden, Kelvin Banks Jr., Walter Nolan, James Pierce Jr., Omarion Hampton, Colston Loveland, Gray Zabel, Derek Harmon, Kevin Winston Jr., Trey Amos. We got a lot to choose from here. Nick Swarton, I like a lot as well. So
I would like to put my vote in for Walter Nolan, please.
all right, so you want Walter Nolan. All right.
Are we not? We're allowed no trade backs? Because this is just, there's too much right there, right? You got Pierce, Nolan. I mean, you could argue Burden.
Calvin Banks.
So what do you want? What do you want to try to trade back to? Like 27-ish?
27 sounds real nice to me. I don't know. Tim, would you accept that?
Yeah, I'm trying to think the last time we did a trade back. I think we went to 27 or 28 and it worked. Yeah.
All right. So we can trade the 23rd pick for the 27th pick and the 91st pick. So we're picking up an extra third to allow them to move up 4 spots. We good with that? That look all right to y'all?
Yep.
All right, let's see if they accept that. I'm sure they will. We don't want to abuse them too much. We probably could have gotten more out of them. So, all right, now on the clock, the Ravens. They went Malachi Starks. Then it was Luther Burden to the Vikings. Gray Zabel went to the Texans, and then Colston Loveland goes to the Rams. So everybody that we liked is still here.
Walter Nolan, you're a Packer.
Walter Nolan, yeah.
And it's crazy too because James Pierce Jr. is significantly higher on our board, but again, it's one of those things, undersized. I'm pretty sure he did not meet the threshold. Let me double check. He did not meet the threshold. He's a top 30 visit, though. So he is in the 12th spot. Walter Nolan is in the 19th spot, just to make sure we're not missing anything else D-line-wise here. Yeah, we're good. We're good there. So Walter Nolan's gents.
I think so. What do you think, Jacob?
I'm cool with that, yeah. For me, it'd be either Pierce or Nolan.
Yeah.
Yep, and Jade Barron, just to confirm, is gone. Will Johnson's gone. What about Emeka Egbuka? Is Emeka Egbuka
He gone. He went 20th to the
Trey Amos is on the board. That'd be a bit of a reach, though, right?
Yeah, and this is a good time to talk about this. Elik Ayamaner, I think is how you say that name. Some people say Elik Ayamaner. There was a report on an NBC website that the Packers had him in for a top 30 visit. I was chatting with Easton Butler earlier today, and he was like, "What in the world? They said that it was either Tom Pelissero or Tom Silverstein that reported it." And he's like, "That's not true." So Easton Butler pretty much confirmed Ayamaner has not been in for a top 30 visit with the Packers. If you guys have heard the same thing we heard, like Ryan talked about it on the pod, and I immediately reached out to Ryan. I was like, "Oh, crap. Where did you hear that at?" Because I kind of like Elik, even though he's a little lower on our board. And he was like, he showed me the website, and I'm like, "This is really weird." And I reached out to Easton. He's like, "No, it ain't true." So just a little inside baseball there. So, all right, we're going Walter Nolan, right, boys?
Yeesh.
All right, with the 27th pick, the Green Bay Packers. Walter Nolan, defensive tackle out of Ole Miss. All right, what positions we want to see here at pick 54, gents?
Man, once again, I'd love Morrison, Ewan Allen, JT, Demetrius. It's tough.
So we got our defensive tackle, right? Let's throw edge on there. Let's throw cornerback on there. Let's throw wide receiver on there. And that's probably enough right now. I feel like those are the top needs, right? So, yeah. So it's Princely Umanmielen, all right. Edge defender out of Ole Miss is there. Benjamin Morrison, like Jacob said, cornerback out of Notre Dame's there. JT Tuamaloa, I think is how you say it. Jalen Royals, Jared Ivey, Darian Porter, Kyle Williams, Trey Harris is there. Trey Harris. Now, where's Jaden Higgins, Tim?
He gone.
Drafted. He gone.
So he went 47. So it's sounding like now Jaden Higgins is out of reach with 54. So if the Packers truly do like him a lot, maybe they would have to trade back up in the second round to grab him. But again, I've got Trey Harris and him neck and neck on our board, so I'll be okay with either one.
If we want to go receiver here, I don't think it's a reach to grab Trey Harris. But the argument would be maybe Jalen Royals or a corner here.
Right. I'm trying to see where we got Benjamin Morrison because we've got him lower on our board than most people. And I know we're definitely in the minority with that. Let me see here. Where's he at? Oh, he's evading me. Anybody else you like here, Jacob, as I look up this name here, man?
I mean, honestly, I'd be fine with Morrison, Princely, JT, Ivy, Porter, but I really do like Trey Harris, and I want us to get one of those kind of big stud wide receivers that we just plug and play.
Yeah. So go ahead.
No, sorry. If I had to really choose right now, man, Benjamin Morrison, if that hip is healthy, he just is being more and more intriguing to me. That guy, when he's healthy, is just an absolute shutdown corner in certain aspects. But there's too much edge right there for me to. I don't know. Tim, what are you doing?
It's tough, man. Here's how the board sits, Tim. Let me explain. Benjamin Morrison's in the 76 spot on our board. All right. Princely is in the 53 spot. All right. JT is in the 43 spot. So he's the highest so far. Jalen Royals, I think, is a little bit lower. He's significantly lower. He's not even on the page right now. Jared Ivey, where do we have Jared Ivey? Jared Ivey's in the 51 spot. So it's JT. He does meet the athletic threshold as well. That's, again, JT Tuamaloa, if I'm saying that name correctly. Darian Porter, we've actually got him higher than Benjamin Morrison. I know most people will probably disagree with that. We've got Darian Porter in the 69 spot as where Benjamin Morrison's in the 76 spot. So, Tim, you answer Jacob's question with the knowledge of JT Tuamaloa is the highest on the board that I'm showing right here, man.
I'm a bad person to answer this question because I'm in the minority with edge, man. I don't see edge as big of a priority.
I agree
in this draft.
Yeah.
And I'd like to get a receiver or a corner here.
I think I want Trey Harris.
Yeah, Trey Harris is in the 49 spot. He would be our next.
Me, that's the pick.
Let's go Trey Harris.
I've always said that it was either I like Jalen Royals as well, and a couple other guys, but that's always been my backup plan for Jaden Higgins is Trey Harris.
And keep in mind too,
one or the other.
If we go Trey Harris here, we come back and we have 2 picks within 4 slots. So yeah. I think we could definitely grab Trey Harris here, come around and hit our cornerback and our D line again, and see what we're left with.
Or even O line,
offensive line.
Yeah.
Yep. Trying to see. Yeah. So we're coming back at pick 87. So Trey Harris would definitely be gone. His average draft position is 74.6. So I think it's unanimous. We're going Trey Harris here.
Let's do it.
All right. We're going to go with the 54th pick. The Green Bay Packers are selecting Trey Harris, wide receiver out of Ole Miss.
All right, now let's get Amos and make this an Ole Miss draft. No, we could get Chris Paul Jr.
Is that Mason Taylor? Hold the phone here a second. Mason Taylor is 39 on our board, and he is a perfect athletic threshold meet. By the way, we talk about all the cells being filled, and I'm not talking about the clink. I'm talking about all the boxes on our spreadsheet here. Everything's filled. Senior Bowl week bonus, whether it was the East-West Shrine or the Senior Bowl, he stood out there. The RAS was a 9+, and Greg Cosell gave him a 3-point bonus as well. Man, Mason Taylor, I know tight end isn't a big need, but the value there is unbelievable. That's crazy. What other positions you guys want to see?
Take Jalen Noel. It's double dip at receiver.
Ooh, Harold Fannin.
I'm joking. I like Harold Fannin Jr. if we're talking tight ends. Mm-hmm. I do. I'm with you, Jacob. Big fan of his tape. Been watching a lot of film on him.
Can we look at cornerback real quick?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we need one of those, or 2 or 3.
So this is what we're talking about with Kyle Williams. Let's address this real quick. Like you see, right now is the time to draft him according to the PFF mock draft, right? On our board, however, Kyle Williams is in the 157 spot. People love him, man. They love him. Anyway. I keep coming back to that. I'm like, that feels like one of these players this year that we're either going to look back and go, man, we were way wrong on him, or we're going to look up and go, everybody else was way wrong on him because they love him right now. So.
It would be an interesting sequence if we went Mason Taylor and came back and did a Darian Strong or a Jacob Parrish. United Bates brings up an interesting factoid here. Taylor is the son of Pro Football Hall of Fame defensive end Jason Taylor and the nephew of Pro Football Hall of Fame Zach Thomas.
Zach Thomas.
That's it. Draft him. Run the card.
But his aunt is Joy Taylor. So
get him off the board.
So I was trying to find Jalen Noel real quick, just to make sure.
Where's he on our board? I'm curious.
Because he was one of those guys that really stood out to us. He's in the 103 spot. So he is way lower than Mason Taylor.
I mean, I like Mason Taylor here too, but I just, to Jacob's point, like, what is the cornerback? What are those picks going to look like beyond this round?
If you go Taylor, I feel like you got to come back and go Strong and then Parrish, one of the two.
And now Dorian Strong on our board is in the 151 spot. Let's see where Parrish is. Jacob Parrish is higher at 130. So
he can, in theory, be there probably.
Yeah, so if we could get Jacob Parrish, he's going to be at 107.4. Well, he'll definitely be there at 91. So if we go Mason Taylor, then come back for Jacob Parrish, that might be the play here. What y'all think?
Where's help me with my curiosity. Where's Harold Fannin Jr. on our board?
I want to say we've drafted him several times. I want to say he is around the 100 mark.
That's what I was thinking.
No. He's actually 65th, Tim. 65th.
Okay.
So he's 65th, and Mason Taylor is 39.
Yeah,
so if we had a corner we like better than Jacob Parrish here, we go, hey, let's go grab him, right? Like, let's just look at corners.
Like Kobe or Noel Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see which one is higher on our board here. Kobe is 142, and everybody loves Noel, but he's significantly lower on our board. He's 174. So Jacob Parrish
the board then.
Yeah. And if you look at Jacob Parrish too, let me make sure he meets the athletic threshold. That might be the thing.
He's a little short was the only thing with him, maybe.
What about Dorian Strong too up there? Where is he on our board?
Dorian Strong's in the 151 spot.
Okay, so we're lower on Mr. Hokey.
Yeah, so Jacob Parrish, he does not have the athletic threshold. That's the only thing. He's versatile. We got him as a V, but now you get later in the draft, you may bend those a little bit, obviously.
I think we should figure out whether we're going Fanning or if we're going to take a play on.
If we're going tight end, we're going Taylor here. I would think, right?
You think so? Because that's so different, though, right?
Taylor's
more of that inline. Fannin Jr. is one of the best offensive weapons in this draft. I'm just.
Have you looked at Mason Taylor? Hearing Greg Cosell talk about him, like he may be the best route running tight end in the entire draft. So I'm high on Harold Fanning Jr. too. I honestly don't see Mason Taylor being around this long. Some people are saying he may go in the second round.
Mason Taylor is not graded out very well, but I tell you, he does look intriguing, huh? 6'5", 255, 20.9 years old.
Let's see what we got. You said he didn't grade out well?
PFF, he was a 58.3 in 2022, a 60.9. 2024 was a 67.8.
So we have him in 22, 196, then 190th, and then last year he jumped all the way to 62nd. PFF Big Board had him at 55. Consensus Big Board had him at 75. He was one of the standout players during the All-Star Game week. Daniel Jeremiah has him at 35. Kyle Krabs had him at 63. Dane Brugler had him at 37. The RAS, obviously a 9+, and Greg Cosell loved him as well.
I like the PFF write-up on him. He's young and could still be growing into his talent and more. In his current form, he is currently a tight end 2 or 3 candidate. So that would be what we're kind of in the market for, right? We're kind of looking for a Luke Musgrave contingency plan here.
Yeah. Bates asks, what is Fannin compared to that? Just number 1 in 2024, number 1 in 2023.
And hearing Daniel Jeremiah talk about him too was like the whole offense had to run through him. So that was one thing that kind of made me go, all right, it's Bowling Green. Daniel Jeremiah's kind of hinting at like, if this guy was on another team, the offense, he wouldn't have been the best target on the field type thing. You guys seen those high schools? Remember back when you were in high school, it's like they had that one player that he did every damn thing. It sounds like that's not a negative on Harold Fannin. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, it's
like me at the office, man. I'm the only one that can do the cool tricks. You know, it gets aggressive. I start getting rashes.
Harold
Fannin, guys are going to hate me, but can we look at offensive line before we pull the trigger on a tight end here?
Also, I just want to say this about Harold Fannin Jr. I think he had a 7 RAS as well. So that doesn't mean Goody wouldn't draft him, but just he did not test out as well as people thought he might. You want to see offensive line, Tim? Is that
tackle?
Right?
Yeah, let's look at interior and tackle.
That's a good idea, Tim.
Wyatt Malum. Where's Wyatt Malum on our board?
So right now we're on Mason Taylor, right? So let's see where these guys hit here. Tate Ratledge. Tate Ratledge is 61. All right. Sabanaya is 70. All right. Wyatt Malum is 58.
Hello.
58. Cameron
Wow.
Williams is 95th.
Charles Grant was pretty high too, I thought.
Charles Grant is 68th. So right now it was who did we say? Wyatt Malum.
Wyatt Malum.
So we want to make sure that we can get Wyatt Malum and Mason Taylor. All right. So how do we do that? Pick
Taylor
87.
first.
We probably should take Mason Taylor because he should have already been gone by pick 73.
Yep.
Wyatt Malum is going around 89, so there's a chance he's gone. But
The worst case, we go to Grant, I think.
I
Yeah.
agree. Or Tate Ratledge if he falls.
Yeah.
All right,
Agree.
so we're gonna go Mason Taylor here with the 87th pick, and of course, Wyatt.
Oh,
Oh wait, he might still be there. Let me see here.
no, he's there. There he is. He's right there.
Yeah, so we got Wyatt Malum. Are we on board
You're
with
done.
that? Dudes? Here's Anthony Belton. Wasn't he a top 30 visit for us? Am I thinking right, guys?
Yes, he was.
Do not have the list up.
Yeah, he was a top 30 visit. We got him 145 on our board. I just wanted to briefly mention him because it looks like he's going right around top 100. So that's interesting there.
Drew D saying Noel's still there. Uh-oh.
Here's a guy.
All right. So we're going Wyatt Malone, boys. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. We're going offensive tackle out of West Virginia. Wyatt Malone with the 91st pick. So let's do a quick little recap.
Ooh.
So with the 27th pick, we traded back to 27. With the 27th pick, we took Walter Nolan, defensive tackle out of Ole Miss. With the 54th pick, we took his teammate Trey Harris, wide receiver out of Ole Miss. With the 87th pick, we took Mason Taylor, tight end out of LSU. And then with 91, we went tackle Wyatt Malone. What do you guys
Holy crap. Give me a cornerback, please.
Let's see what we got at corner. We got Noel Williams. Oh, there's
I like
Zion.
him or Elijah Huzzy coming around.
You
Let
love,
me,
you love them Huzzies, don't you, Jacob?
I
know
love.
he
I
does.
do. I
Oh, he
do.
All right, so let's see who comes in first here. Noel Williams. Where's Noel Williams? So let me just identify him. All right, there he is. Robert Longerbeam. He is significantly lower, I believe. Yeah, he's way down there. Zy Alexander. Let me just work the board here real quick. You guys, here's Zy Alexander's way higher. Huzzy is significantly lower, it appears. Yeah, he is. Quincy Riley. Where's Quincy Riley at on the board? He must be way down there. Yeah. right,
People
so
in the
let's-
chat are a little upset at the Wyatt Malum pick because he did apparently struggle as a tackle in the Senior Bowl, so that's why he is projected to be a guard kicked in. But AM says Millum is a guard. LOL. Well, he played all his college career at tackle. So
Yeah, and this,
technically
listen,
he's
I'm not
a
going to sit here and get into an argument. Like this is what we're talking about with the threshold industrial complex. People are, there's no way they'll play tackle. And it's, it gets a little weird. There's no reason for us to argue over it.
Mhm.
I think you're drafting him to be a depth piece, regardless, right? You got Aaron Banks. You feel good about what the starting offensive line looks like now. You're going to have to take an offensive lineman at some point. As a matter of fact, we had a need for 2, I believe, to round out the roster. So back to corner. If we're focused on corner here, Zy Alexander, hands down, is the best prospect here. His grade is a 78.3. Let me resort this, and I'll tell you all exactly where he's at on the board right now. With a 78.3, Zy Alexander is in the 94 spot. So that would be our corner. Now the question is, do we take him now or try to stretch it out? He'll be gone before the next pick for sure.
I
So,
say take him.
Tim, you opposed to Zy Alexander? Is there anybody?
No, my only other thought is if there was another position group we were interested in, we could wait and then maybe grab an Elijah Huzzy or O'Reilly or
Fortune.
Donald Fortune or somebody. I
I
know we
would-
talked
Edge-
about Edge. We
Edge
talked
looked
about
like-
Edge in the first round. I mean, I'd feel more comfortable going Edge where we're at now, depending on what's on the board.
It's crazy too because we said let's see what we can learn during this mock draft. I'll tell you exactly what I've learned. Zy Alexander looks really good here with the 4th round pick 124 being 94th on our board. The problem, he doesn't meet the athletic threshold. So corner Tim gets thinner every damn time we do a mock draft.
It does.
It's like
It does.
now that the thresholds are in, it gets really, really.
It's almost where, like, if we started this, remember, if we would have started this draft with Morrison, it completely shifts
It
the
would have
whole way
changed
this draft
everything,
falls
yeah.
like crazy.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. Because it really, really starts to taper off, man. Benjamin Morrison would have been a threshold fit. He'd have been a reach on our board, but he would have been a threshold fit. So, yeah, I'm trying to just see who's coming up here at corner, and there's.
Can you go back to best available and just
Yeah.
see, like Tim said, if we're
Dorian Strong is gone, right?
he's gone. Yeah,
What do you want to see, Jake?
just best available. Yeah. Maybe just scroll a little bit. I mean, I freaking love Isaac Tesla. The more I look about him, he's another exact kind of clone of Trey Harris, 6'4", speedy possession receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Can you scroll down just a little bit there? Are we looking past Kyle Williams too much, or somebody like that? I mean,
again, we're picking. If we're going off my board, no, we can't justify it until the 150s. But like again, I think I'm the only person on the face of the earth that has him lower.
Gosh, that's tough, man. Pegues, no. Willie Lampkin, Ahmad Hassanian, Jack Kaiser.
That's a better. Where's Kaiser on our board?
Kaiser is significantly higher on our board, man.
Yeah, so that's someone who might be there.
And this is a good test here, too. I'm pretty sure he would not. Yeah, he did not meet the threshold, but he's in the 102 spot.
Quick, Clayton, scroll back up before Jacob sees Torrey Horton's name at the bottom of the screen.
I was ready to talk.
I think we're done with wide receiver, right? I mean, we're be damn cutting Christian Watson here once he's healthy. If we keep
never.
So, what are you thinking, boys? Talk to me.
I'm thinking we gotta either do Noel Williams or
Noel Williams. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Or the kid from LSU.
Yeah, Noel Williams is 174 on our board.
I'd go Zy.
Yeah, Zy Alexander.
So we're gonna go against the threshold if we go Zy here. So let's do that.
Here's a Zy.
Zy Alexander, cornerback out of LSU.
You are a Packer.
Yes, sir. Let's pick 124. Now pick 54. What do y'all want to see?
Stack backer and edge.
Yeah.
All right, let's go linebacker.
There we go. Here's your I like Jaw Joyner, but I think it may be a little early. I don't know where you got him. And also Danny Maguts there.
Yeah. So we need to see who we got higher here on the board in terms of linebacker, don't we? So Kobe King is 154. Ja Joyner is 239. Cody Simon is 150. Cody Lindenberg is 323. Oof. Danny Stutzman is 93rd.
And
put
him on the board.
He meets the athletic threshold, and the Packers already met with him too.
Get her done.
Now, average draft position 174. A little bit of a reach here, but he will be gone before we pick next time. Tim, you on board with it, bro?
Run that cod.
All right, Danny Stutzman it is, linebacker. And I'm telling you right now, man, with the way he played against the run, I think he would really compete with Isaiah McDuffie as that third, that second outside linebacker in the 4-3 base.
Here's an interesting person. So Jordan Hancock, like I said, has all of a sudden shifted into some people's top 10 cornerbacks of the draft.
It's Herbie Hancock.
It's Herbie Hancock. Can you click on him and see where his lineups were throughout his career and see if there's a little maybe hidden gem there? I don't see it.
Played safety and played slot. Played slot most of the time.
Yeah, I don't get that. Okay.
Yeah, he's pretty low on our board too. We got him in the 255 spot.
All right, scratch that.
All right. Ty Robinson.
Jason Marshall, Elijah Badger, Zah Frazier, John Williams. I really like John Williams.
Jason Marshall's a top 30 visit, isn't he? Yeah, John Williams is top 30 visit too, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Where do we got Mr. John Williams? We got him in the 289 spot. These guys are way down there. Of course, we are at 189 now. Elijah Badger. I wonder if he's climbed on our board at all. Elijah Badger. Not that we need another one. He's in the 207 spot. So, I don't know, man. Tim, when you look at our picks, what we've taken so far, man, what do we need? You know, what are our needs here, you think? We got D tackle, wide receiver, tight end, tackle, corner, and linebacker.
You know me, I'm thinking defense. So
You always think
I'll take another D tackle. Take Ty Robinson from Nebraska. I don't care. What about hey, where's Malachi Moore from Bama at? And don't everybody, come after me in the chat here for looking at a safety, but I'm just curious.
172, and he meets the threshold, and they say he's extremely intelligent.
I was going to say that's the guy I was thinking of with the high FBI, right?
Yep.
And he also played. Does he have the V next to his name?
He does not. No.
He should. 180 snaps in the slot.
Let me see here. Let me double check here. Malachi does not have the V. How many did you say you had in the slot?
180.
All right, let me throw a V in there, bro. Good catch there,
6
Tim.
foot, 200 pounds. Going to be 20. Going to be 24 as a rookie. So don't tell Goody.
What do you think, Jacob? Any specific position?
Can you scroll a little bit down, just a little bit here? Keep her going. Yeah, other than maybe a Jalen Smith or a Jake Majors, kind of pop off at me a little bit there. Where do you have Jalen Smith on your board, Clayton?
Jalen Smith.
Cornerback out of USC, correct.
Jalen Smith is 213 on our board.
Okay.
He does not meet the threshold.
Gotcha. And Jake Majors, real quick.
Corner 2?
No, center from Texas.
Oh, Jake Majors. Gotcha. 120, and he meets the threshold.
That to me seems like a decent pick right there.
That seems pretty good, Tim. We said we needed 2 offensive linemen.
I'd go with that. Can we just take one more peek at edge before we pull the trigger?
Yeah, let's go interior offensive line. Let's go edge. Compare the two here.
Fidel Diggs we met with.
What's that?
I said Fidel Diggs we met with. I still think that our guy Majors is popping off the page to me.
Yeah, Tim, do you see any other I don't see any other edge that really stand out, right?
Nope.
All right. I think that's
I
it.
think you're right, guys. I think we go with it.
Jake Majors here. All right. Pick 198. We're going center out of Texas, Jake Majors. All right. Pick 237. What do we like? We got our 2 offensive line. We got our backer. We got us 1 corner. We got a tackle. Or we already got our 2 offensive line. We got a tight end, wide receiver, and D tackle.
Frazier.
Is Malachi Moore still on the board?
Let's see. Malachi Moore is gone, Tim. He is out of here. Shiloh Sanders to bring the circus to town.
Hey, that other guy, Marquez Seigel, that's a guy I thought that was an interesting person.
Seigel.
I don't think we have him on the board. No.
Yeah, we don't.
Can you go back up to the cornerback room real quick? Where do you have Za Frazier?
What'd you say, Tim?
It's like, can you go back to edge again?
Yeah, Za Frazier's 367.
Damn. Yeah, throw edge in there, will you?
All right, let's go edge. Ethan Downs,
Johnny really like
Jr.
Elijah Alston. Have you ever looked at his measurements? He was amazing last year. I don't know. Can you click on him and just show his little blurb?
Yeah, we got Elijah Alston in the 243 spot. He was 4th at his position in 23, but dropped back to 72nd last year. So the PFF grade should look good there.
Look at that. Just saying.
I would like to make an argument for Johnny Walker Jr., please.
He does not make the does not meet the threshold either. But the Packers did meet with Elijah Alston. So.
Okay.
Yeah, let's you said Johnny Walker Jr.?
Yeah.
80.1 this last year, not bad.
Where's he at on our board?
I want to say he's extremely low because you guys always got really excited about him, and I had to burst the bubble and say no, he's at 283. So yeah, I think Elijah Alston, if we're going to go edge, would be the pick here. To be honest with you, Packers met with him, but not a threshold fit.
I like it. I don't mind it. You know what I'm coming around. My last pick is, you know who that's going to be?
Now we're going to go Elijah Alston here at pick 237, edge defender. Add a little
Yes,
depth to the edge.
Round her out with Thor Griffith, and we'll call it a day.
we always got Thor in the back pocket, man. Always, right?
There he is, baby.
Always there. Let's see what we got here. Thor Griffith. He meets the athletic threshold, and he's in the 138 spot. Why does everybody have him so low? There's got to be
Click
something.
on him. He's graded out so well his whole
What
career.
we
I
miss?
don't get it. Look at that.
Is there an injury we don't know about, Tim? Is there something like that, man?
Got me.
Thor
Dude,
Griffith.
He's
Help
just
us
a
out,
beast.
chat. Is there something we don't know about Thor Griffith? Anything at all? I mean, did he steal somebody's social security number? What happened? So there got to be something there, right?
He's played A gap significantly, B gap. I mean,
Yeah.
let's go.
And steady Eddie, like you would say, for sure.
Chuck said, I don't care if he robbed a bank, run the damn car.
His name's Thor.
All right. RAS score. That's a great question there, Deadfish. Let me see where we got Thor's RAS. We do not have an RAS. There's got to be an injury. There's got to be an injury.
He played 13 games in 24, though.
22 and 23 only played 10 games, though. So I wonder
Right.
if maybe that's where it was.
Let me see here. Let me do a little. Let's see if we can wake Grok up real quick and ask him.
Yeah. Find out if he's really 6'2", 320 also.
History.
It's
All right,
J.
let's see what
Cole. He did not stop Thanos.
happens. He's struggling to pick his hammer up. There's no publicly available information indicating that Thor Griffith, the Louisville Cardinal defensive tackle, has had any significant injuries during the college football career. Yeah, that's according to Grok. You don't know everything, but me and Grok argue sometimes, so we get along all the time. Me and Emilio were on here late one night. We were doing draft board stuff, and I was like, having a conversation with Grok. We had Grok pissed off. It was hilarious. So, all right, let's just do it. Let's pull the trigger on Thor. All right. We're trying to find a reason not to draft him, and that's just silly. So Thor Griffith is the final pick.
Ooh, 3 awards. That's
Man,
good.
Not a major award. All right. So here it is, guys. We traded out of pick 23 down to 27, picked up pick 91. In addition to our full draft here, we didn't trade any other picks. So with pick 27, we went defensive tackle Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss. Pick 54, we went wide receiver Trey Harris out of Ole Miss. Pick 87, we went tight end Mason Taylor out of LSU. Pick 91, we went tackle Wyatt Malum. Pick 124, we went Zy Alexander, cornerback out of LSU. Pick 159, probably my favorite pick, even though PFF hated it, Danny Stutzman, linebacker out of Oklahoma. Pick 198, we went center Jake Majors out of Texas. Pick 237, Elijah Alston, edge defender out of Miami. And then with pick 250, we went with defensive tackle Thor Griffith out of Louisville. What's your all's thoughts on this draft, boys? That was fun.
Got straight B's. They call us Buzz.
I don't hate it. I don't love it for sure. A few highlights here. Drew D found out that Thor played 4 years at Harvard, then transferred, so he could be older and probably against lesser competition. So obviously that's gonna hurt him. Drew D says he is 6'2". And Holmes coming in here, he says he was ejected from the game for targeting a quarterback. I think he may be possibly a bit intense. Quit selling once he made the sale. Hey.
Yeah, our guys better wake up with their piss hot, like I said before. So
AM drops in and says, y'all are stupid for taking Malone. I appreciate that.
Thanks for stopping
man.
in.
Cool.
Good to see you.
Deadfish. Thor had 42 on the bench. Good pick.
No way.
Drew D says, holy cow, Thor put up 42 reps on the bench. Let's thank you.
somebody
That
named-
justifies the pick right there.
Of course, somebody named Thor put 42 reps up on the bench.
Bruh, 4.95 40 at 6'2", 320 with 42 reps on the bench. What is wrong? Who did he hurt?
Who hurt you?
Who hurt him?
Hurt people. Hurt people.
There
you go.
Secrets.
All right, I'm going to tweet that one out and get roasted. Y'all ready?
Oh.
We're going to stay
God bless
live
them,
here
man.
for 2 hours as the comments roll.
Just
All right. I think that's it, man. We didn't miss any super chats, did we? We already hit Soldiers.
No, we
Sheriff
got
and
him.
Josh Bellingham becoming a member here on YouTube. We'll make sure you're entered into that contest. By the way, this weekend, Saturday, we're going to be giving away an autograph rookie Catan Oladapo card.
Nice.
All you got to be is a member of our Patreon group or a member here on YouTube. Recommend Patreon because you get a lot more for your $3 there. But we're going to put everybody's name on the pinky wheel and spin that sucker and give that thing away there. So, Josh, you will be entered into that. We appreciate you. H.E. Soder, thank you for the super chat. Guys, you got anything else?
Nope. Pretty good draft tonight. Not our best, not our worst.
Not bad. I'm going to try to remember to tweet it out here in a second, see what everybody says. So, all right, that's it, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central for PTA Live. We'll have the new top 30 visit that came through. I'm trying to remember his name. I've already forgotten it, but we'll hit that. We'll give you guys a full scouting report, show you what kind of recruit he was coming out of high school, strengths, weaknesses, PFF grades, RAS card, the whole 9 yards. We'll get you up to date there. And who knows, we might get some more top 30 visit information coming in by then. Saturday, the plan is probably to have to do an early day show. You know what? We might want to do the giveaway Sunday because of that. I've got a graduation to attend. My nephew's graduating, man. No more high school football to attend. It sucks. So,
You can still go to the games.
yeah.
You know.
But you can get thrown out like AFAM, right? Walking in there with that.
Yeah,
money.
you got to be careful.
You got to be careful. All right, that's it, guys. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Everybody have a great night. 7 p.m. Central. Make sure you're here. And appreciate the support. Like the stream. Feel free to join the Patreon. Like I said, scan the QR code in the upper right, or just go to patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. Everybody have a good night. Bye.
And we go.
All right.
Bye, guys.